let's do some yoga. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start out bringing our awareness into breathing into the diaphragm that is back here behind the ribs. So if you put your hands right here at the top of your waist and you take your breath and you soften your shoulders down, you take your breath down into your palm of your hands. And if you breathe nice and long, you can actually feel the ribs expand out on the inhale. And when you go to exhale, think about squeezing the carbon dioxide out of the bottom, the middle, and the top of the lungs. So take a few breaths here, breathing into 3, and see if you can exhale twice as long, exhaling to 6. So it's inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then take a normal breath. We'll do that one more time. So you're inhaling to 3, keeping your shoulders quiet, breathing down into your hands. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the way emptying out those lungs. That helps keep the diaphragm extra strong. The next thing that we're going to do is work with our limbs and the extremities. So what I'd like you to do is, these are called mudras. You're going to connect your thumb with the inside of your index finger, and you can take your arms out like so and say, I am light, and then connect the thumb to the middle finger, I am bright. You can connect the thumb to the ring finger, and notice the other fingers are all the way extended. I am in harmony. And then the next is the pinky finger on the inside. I am strong, and I am kind. So we go through that. I am light, I am bright, I am in harmony, I am kind, I am strong. And you send that kindness out to, you send that kindness out to the world. I am light, I am bright, I'm in harmony, I am strong, I am kind. And then look down at your feet. See if there's a possibility of looking at your feet and opening them up as wide as you possibly can. You might want to go get yourself a chair, because we're going to be using that here in a moment. So I'll wait a moment while you get yourself a chair or a countertop, or you can have this ready if this is the second time that you're watching this. So look down at your right foot. See if you can put your hand on the chair and spread those toes open as wide as you can. And gaze down at it. Now stand up nice and tall, straight. See if you can think about sending your tailbone down as you lift your stomach muscles up here and standing really tall. And then we're just going to have our fingers lightly on the back of the chair, and then take your foot down. And then we'll go to the other side. So I'm going to have my hand here just to make sure I still have my balance. And this time as you go to raise your leg, think about, can you pull the pelvic floor up? It's almost the same muscles that you use to stop yourself from urinating. Look down at your feet, spread open those toes as wide as you can there. Spread them open and keep gazing down. See if you can see part of the chair in between the toes. We're just really opening those up. And then to take this a little bit further into your posture, as you root down through the standing leg, lift the rib cage up, lift the pelvic floor up again, and then bring that foot down. So then what we're going to do is we're going to sit on the chair. And what we'll do is we're going to do a cross body kind of work here. So you're taking your arms and you're making a big figure 8. Notice how it's a figure 8 or an infinity sign. Notice how my hand flips around. And so you're going to do that with nice big hands. And now we're going to coordinate that with crossing the body. So I'm going to take an exhale to hit, an exhale to hit. I'm exhaling every time I touch. I'm taking an inhale every time I come out of that. Now, see if you can do it on the front edge of your chair. Instead of letting yourself lean back, see if you can use your core muscles and stay tall. Now you're getting a little bit more work in through your quads. You're still getting the nice cross body work through that helps your brain and your coordination, but you're doing that. And if that went well, we're going to do that standing up. So to stand up, what I want you to do is take your feet out in front of you, lean forward, put your hands on the top of your thighs right here, and press down through your heels to come on up. So let's see if this works for you. And sometimes it's just a matter of practicing. See if we can do this standing up, and we'll try it again. So we're gonna make the arms, we'll start small, and exhale, and exhale, and exhale, and exhale, and exhale. Maybe you can make, if that went well, maybe you make your arms a little bit bigger, a little bit more active. Maybe you get that leg up a little bit higher, but every time you're touching the opposite side. Bring your hands on up and bring your hands on down. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our hands out to the sides. I'm going to turn like this so you can see. So as you press through the palm of the hand, what I'm going to ask you to do is open up the fingers so you're making like a V, kind of like Spock did. And see if you can now do that without looking. See if you can work through those fingers and keep that dexterity happening. Take your arms up over top of the head and bring your hands down the center line. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is do something different with your hands. So this time you're going to keep your fingers together and make two V's. So the middle two fingers are together and the other two fingers are making the V's on either side of the hand. See if you can do that. See if you can do it without looking, and then bring your arms on up. And don't worry if you don't get it the first time. It usually takes a little bit of practice, and that's all this is. This is just practice. It's not a performance. So we're going to take a seat back down on the chair, and you're going to hold on to the chair. And this is going to be a little bit more for the core work. So you're going to hold on to the two sides of the chair and take your leg up and then stretch it on out. See if you can spread open the toes. Bring the knee back up and set the foot down. Sometimes when people do this for the first time, they actually get some Charlie horses because the brain isn't really used to this, the nervous system. But this is really good. You're working your core and you're working your quads. Biggest muscle you have in your body. So again, we're going to lift up, extend, spread open, lift up and down. The slower you go down with it, the more you're going to work in through the core. So keep lifting this up, lifting the inside of your pubic bone up towards your navel. Spread open those toes, straighten the leg if you can, and then bring it down. One more this side. Elongate out, spread open, up and down, up, spread open the toes, up and down. Good. And then we're going to try to come off the chair again. This time, maybe you do it without bracing your top of your shoulders. So what you can do is you lean forward, and you're leaning forward so that the upper body now becomes less of a burden on the butt to get up. So we have a different physics going on here. So you press down through your feet, lift up your pelvic floor, and see if you can come on, stand on up. Good. And then we're going to sit down nice and slow. That chair is still behind you, right where you had it. So just take your hips back and sit into the chair. And then one more time back on up. Good. All right. So we're going to do some things for the back body. So we can turn the chair. I'm going to turn the chair this way so you can see. And I'm just holding lightly onto the chair. And I'm going to take my left foot forward and my right foot back. And so you're just holding onto that and root through that leg. And then see if you can take your hands off the chair and lift your tummy flesh up as you take your buttock flesh down. You'll feel this right here in the front of the left hip. And then come and stand on up and bring the foot down. We're going to take the left leg back. The right leg stays forward. When I get my balance and I root through the back heel, I'm going to lift the belly flesh up and the buttock flesh down. So it's a hinge right here, and you'll feel it more on the front of the left hip flexor. Hands on the chair, lift up through your core. So again, lifting that pelvic floor, you're going to come and stand on up. Take your arms up over top of the head. Bring your hands to the back of the chair. Step back with your right foot and your left foot. And you're just going to see if you can get any amount of length in through the spine here. So as I move the chair forward, I'm taking my hips back. I'm going to put the back of my neck in the same line as the rest of the spine. And I'm going to see if I can get that same sensation of breathing in through the diaphragm. So remember in the very beginning, we had our hands on the hips. You can keep your hands here, but see if you can call to mind breathing down and wide on the inhale. And on the exhale, squeeze all the carbon dioxide out of the lungs so you can take in a nice long inhale following that. So inhale to 3 and exhale to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step your feet to the chair with your hands on in case you feel a little bit dizzy. And there's your 10-minute workout.